What is going on, YouTube people? New York Arts and Comics here today. A little bit of a messy situation for the old Panini boys and girls. Talked about the WWE, the WNBA product, not editing that out, that went up for Dutch auction, the rookie royalty with the two cards. You got one autograph card and then one case hit style card, basically an NBA or WNBA Chronicles style product of all super high end sets. You either get a Caitlin Clark auto or an Angel Reese auto. And then there is a bunch of rookie downtowns, kabooms of various shapes, sizes, and players in the second slot. This went up for Dutch auction for $30K starting price and at a floor value of $3,000. Tinfoil Hat Brigade, where you at? It's time to mount up because we got to put a little tinfoil on for this one. So I was keeping an eye on this throughout the afternoon, checking in here and there. My prediction was 8K. Boy, was I wrong. If you guessed anything above about $4,000, maybe $3,000, more on that in a second, you were incorrect. This got essentially down to the floor with an asterisk. Once again, we'll get there. So the secondary market basically said, nah, I'm good here. Now, some people are probably going to say $3,000 to $4,000 is ridiculously high for this product. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. But I thought that it would sell out at a higher amount. Smart all the way around. The risk reward here is massive. We don't really know. I don't think that they put a checklist out. So we don't know what the checklist looks like. I don't know what the ratio is to Caitlin autos to Reese autos. And this product is a CT scanner's dream come true. A 2-card product. We'll have a field day with this. You are crazy if you buy this product on a secondary market. In fact, just to go on a side rant here before we get to Tinfoil Town, the fact that they would even list this at a starting bid of $30,000 and not have sat down and figured something out for CT detection on this, because I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. So it's a matter of, can you detect it or not? Maybe they could stop it. I don't know. But regardless, you're going to charge $30,000 for this, and you can't. There's no safety in regard to whether or not this product gets CT scanned in the future. Is absolutely wild. I mean, absolutely wild. Manufacturers, Topps, Panini, everybody needs to figure that out, especially for this ultra high-end product. I get it. For Series 1, Donruss paper, whatever, you don't need it. But if you're charging more than a few $1,000s for a box, especially of these short packaged products, like a Flawless or an NT or a Dynasty, you got to figure that stuff out. So anyways, this thing keeps creeping down. It gets to the 4,000s, $4,100. I took this screenshot at 52.50 right before it dropped to 4,100. It gets to 4,100. It's still in stock. It drops to 3K, which is the floor value for a split second. Now, I don't know if anyone got transactions in at $3,000. If you did, or you know somebody that did, feel free to sound off in the comments down below. I heard stories of people trying to check out at the 3K price basis, but not able to complete the transaction. So I am not sure if anyone actually was able to get product checked out or not. Now it's time for the tinfoil. Did it actually sell out? That's the question. And like I said, I'm in pure speculation mode here. I have no idea. But it is a little suspect that the second it hit 3K, it essentially sold out. It makes you wonder if maybe once it hits the floor, they pulled it and there was actually still inventory remaining. This has been a long run hobby conspiracy theory when it comes to these Dutch auctions and things like this, that when the price drops to a certain level and they're not sold out yet, they yank the product back to give the perception that it's sold out at a higher number. And then what they do is they take the items that did not sell and then essentially backdoor them to the larger hobby shops, breakers, distribution channels, etc. You could fill in whatever names that you want here. And they're essentially not, it's not like they're getting them for free. They have to pay for them, but they rather than sell them direct to the public, they just pretend that it's sold out and then take the remaining inventory and move it off to the side for the hobby powerhouses to do with what they will. Did that happen here? I have no idea. I have zero way. There's no proof of that, but it is fun tinfoil hat time. So we'll see if, one of your favorite breakers comes up with 20 case breaks of this thing, or certain online retailers have tons of stock of this stuff to be able to sell. We'll be able to figure it out not figure it out, but at least maybe give some context clues of, how did they get that many of those? So did it sell out? Did it not sell out? That's an interesting question to ponder. You could feel free to sound off in the comments about that. How many of these are going to be getting sent to CT scanners left, right, and center? And then, from a more macro perspective, I don't know that this is some grand commentary on the high-end market versus, there's the WNBA factor. There is the Caitlin Clark factor, which she has a ton of hype behind her. But this was in my opinion, this was a poorly designed product. If they wanted to do something like this, I almost think they should have just took a page out of Topps' playbook like they did with Mercury and just make it Caitlin Clark specific. Or make it that you get a Caitlin Clark auto guaranteed, but your second hit slot is a Downtown Kaboom or maybe an Angel Reese rookie auto. But you're basically guaranteed one Caitlin Clark autograph per box. And then maybe the secondary is two different. I don't know. But I feel like there was a better way they could have configured this product if they were going to do this. I wonder if they would have known that this was essentially going to hit the floor, and God knows how many people paid higher prices on this. But I would be curious to see, what their boardroom is talking about this afternoon at time of recording in regards to, because remember, this is a thrown together product. It is a Chronicle style product where they're taking bits, pieces, and bobs and whatevers from all the different high-end products that they have and throwing it in one box. I wonder if they would have been better off to go more traditional release routes with some of that stuff. And maybe it just wasn't possible. Maybe it was too much work to get autographs and jerseys and stuff like that. Suze on Twitter had a really good Twitter thread kind of talking about this product and the design of it. The world may never know. Some exec at Panini knows, but they're never talking. And here we now sit with this product being, I don't know if it was a failure or not. On the face, it feels like it was a little bit of a failure because it essentially, could you have purchased at the floor? I don't know. But for all intents and purposes, it basically hit the floor. You could have checked out anytime you wanted to at the $4,100 price point, which was one level above the floor. Once it hit 3K, like I said, tinfoil up. God only knows what happened there. As always, very curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget, Off-Center tonight as Flipping Steve does his national giveaway. Catch boys and girls later tonight. Peace.